Hey, what's up? Welcome to my channel. So, I've decided to make a new series uh, for the interview preparation kit. So, I was actually practicing this. I've done about 18 questions right now. But yeah, so I decided I'll do from start again and I'll explain one question per video and explain all of the questions. So, I think there are yeah, the most important topics like arrays, dictionaries, or hash maps, greedy algorithms, string manipulation, sorting, searching, dynamic programming, all the stuff that are very important during interviews. So I'll be covering every question. So I have to cover all the questions. And so today I'll start with the first question, that is 2D array. Yeah. So today 2D array. So let's check what is the question. This is the first question. Okay, for arrays. All right. Given a 6 by 6 2D array, okay, given a 6 by 6 2D array, so this is a matrix like 6 by 6. So obviously 6 elements are there in a row and in column, you know, in column. So 6 by 6 2D array. Now what I have to do is an hourglass in A is a subset of values with indices falling in this pattern in arrays graphical representation. So yeah, basically it means like this is how an hourglass is a subset of values, with indices falling. Okay, this pattern should be this pattern within a 2D array is called an hourglass pattern. For example, let's say hourglass pattern. Okay, so there are 16 hourglasses in array, right? So if we see like that, for example, here you see 1 1 1 1 1. This is an hourglass, right? So it said that there are 16 hourglasses in an array. An hourglass sum is the sum of an hourglass values. Calculate the hourglass sum for every hourglass in array. Then print the maximum hourglass sum. The array will be 6 by 6. Okay, let's go it again. Okay, let's read it again. So there are 16 hourglasses. We got it. An hourglass is the sum. Hourglass sum is the sum of hourglass values. So obviously, if this is an hourglass, like this three, this one, and this three, so this shape, I mean this hourglass shape, yeah. So hourglass shape, the sum is the hourglass sum. Okay. All right. So calculate the hourglass sum of every hourglasses in AR's array. So all the possible hourglasses, we have to calculate each hourglasses sum, and after that print the maximum. Print the maximum hourglass sum. This okay. The array will always be 6 by 6. Okay, that's cool. So let's take an example. It's basically I think you have understood it. So you have to do is compute each hourglass sum and then check whether that is the maximum sum possible by going through all the hourglasses pattern in the 2D array. Okay, so yeah, there are some constraints like yeah, it returns an integer, input formats and all this. I think this is self-explanatory. You can see in this diagram. Yeah, in this we see this is the array, but if you uh, bring the hourglass pattern, it will be like this, right? So we have to bring the sum of each and every hourglass. So for example, this is how much? So we have 3 4 5 6 7. So 7 is the total sum of this hourglass. Next we have to similarly find this one. So obviously this is 4. So which is greater? Obviously 7 is greater. So we have to find, by doing this, we have to find the maximum number which gives the maximum sum. All right. I think it's clear. Now, all right. Before coding, let's try to check it. Let's try to analyze here how we are going to do this. All right. So okay. So obviously we have to go each and every element. I mean each and every hourglass. So what we are going to do is first let's try think like this. Let's first try to find the first hourglass. Okay. All right. I'll just use the paint to visualize it. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's see. So in this pattern, you see, I'll try to get the first hourglass. Okay, so let's see the indices. So this is in position 0. So this is a 2D array, so obviously the position will be 0 0. All right, my handwriting will be bad, but bear with me. So this is the first index, 0 0. Then the next index is 0 1, right? Because row and column are the indexes in 2D array, right? So this one is 0 and 1. All right, next is 0 2, right? 0 2. I'm talking about the indices, okay? Indices. Indices. Okay, my mouse is, my handwriting will be very bad, but bear with me. So 0 0 is the first indice, 0 1 is the second, and then 0 2, right? And the middle one that is 1, it will be what? It will be 1 1. Is this right? Yeah, because row number 1 because it starts from 0, right? Array starts from 0. So 1, and obviously the column is also the second column, right? So 1 1 1 1. Okay, right. Next, in the next line, so for an hourglass pattern, so next is this one. So this one is which row? It's a third row, so that will be index 2, right? So we'll write 2 first, and the position of the column is first column, so it will be 0, right? Okay, right. 0. Okay, 0. And the next element would be item would be 2 1, right? Because this is the third row and second column, so that means minus 1, obviously. So 2 1, second index and 1 index. I hope it is clear. And the next last one is what is 2 2, right? Because second row, second index row, second index column, right? So this is the first hourglass, that is 1 1 1 1, right? Now, if we want to code this up, so obviously we can't give, constant values, like we cannot give index or find index of 0 0. We have to give variables, right? We have to look through all of this because we can't do it manually, obviously, because it will be very long. So if you want to code this, loop it. So okay, let's see the second one. Okay, the second one will be what? 1 1 0, right? So this pattern, this one, this one, and this one, right? Yeah. So if for next pattern it will be what? It will be I'm writing here. So it will be the row will be 0 only. This one, the row will be 0 only, but the column will be 1, right? 1. Next, the row will be 0, but the column will be 2. Next, row will be 0, and column will be 3 because we are going 1, next one, right? And the middle indices will be obviously this will be okay. This will be 1 2, right? 1 2 because the first row, but the second column, and the below it will be the second second indices, okay, second row, second index, and yeah, the first column, right? First column, yeah. Then second 2 2, you got it. I think it's clear now, and it will be 2 3, right? Right. So if we go on like this, you can see it is getting the plus, it is getting incremented by 1, right? So if we want to make it into a variable, it will be, so I, right? Let's say I is, oh sorry, ij, okay, ij, okay, sorry, okay. So I j. Say for example, I and j is equals to, initially equals to 0, right? I comma j is equals to 0. Okay, initially I comma j both are 0. So it will be what? I j, right? Then the next element will be I j plus 1, right? And the next, alright, I'll just make a matrix here, and that will be I, and I'm implementing this one, huh? Okay, this one in variable form. So the first one is 0 0, so ij. The next one is 0 1, so I and j plus 1. Then the next one is I plus, sorry, not plus, I comma j plus 2, right? So 0 2, right? So j plus 2. Similarly, the middle one will be I plus 1 1 and j plus 1, right? And the bottom row will be 2 0, right? So I plus 2 plus 2, okay, and j, and this will be I plus, okay, stuff to write in paint, I plus j, sorry, not j, sorry, I plus 2 and j plus 1, j plus 1, and the last one will be I plus 2, I plus 2 and j plus 2. You got it? So this will be obviously this one, and for the next one obviously we'll increment first. J will be incremented first, okay, and it will be in a loop. So I'll just code it now because I've explained I think almost, okay. So now you'll understand more when I write the code, okay. So we'll loop through all this Argos pattern and keep the sum and compare if which is the maximum. Okay, let's just get into code. That will be better. All right, so this is the coding. All right, okay, so hourglass sum. So it's given here list, okay. It's given list, but earlier it used to be an they used to give array here, to be array, but they have given nested list for now. But it's fine. It's the same thing. We'll do in nested list, okay. So, all right. So, okay. So first we have to do is all right. Let's write the for loop first, okay? For int I is equal to 0. Yeah, I less than. Okay, we'll give array dot size because it's a list size. For now, I'll just give array size, but I'm coming to this. And I plus plus, okay, because it will increment. We have to go through all of it. Oh, sorry. And again, for this will be nested. Int j is equals to 0. J less than array dot size, sorry, and j plus plus. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, one thing, yeah, I want to say is, you see when you are going through one row at a time, you are going maximum. You are going I plus 2 in one loop. You are going maximum plus 2, right? So two more items are checked, right? Two more items are checked. So for the last element, there won't be for the last element. Okay, visualize for the last element there won't be plus 2, right, or plus 1 maybe, right? So we have to loop it till array size minus 2. Okay, so it will be minus 2. If you don't understand, you can comment and I will try to explain again if if that's what you like. All right, so minus 2. Okay, so array dot size minus 2. All right, now what you have to do is basically do this, add all these items exactly like how it is. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna just keep the sum here, and sum is equals to, all right, and sum is equals to, all right, array dot get. All right, array dot get. What do we have to get I, right, array dot I dot get j. Okay, so what is this calling? It's a nested list, right? So we have to call the first element, then above that, 2D array, right? 2D array. So 2D arrays are generally done like this. So array of 0, comma 0. This will be the first element, right? to array of 0, comma 1. Yeah, it's like that, but this is given list there, that's why I'm using it like this. All right, so let's just do it. Okay, exactly like how I have written here. So first I did ij, right? I gave I and j. Next we have to I, then j plus 1. Let's do it. And sorry, it will be long, but you can obviously make it shorter by making another function and all this. But I'll just keep it as it is. Get I dot get j plus 1, right? You can see here j plus 1. Okay. Next plus array dot get. Alright, let's do one thing. Okay, j plus 1. Okay, let's write it here only. Array dot get syntax. Okay, I'll just write here. Sorry for this. Array dot get I dot get I plus 2, right? You can check here. I plus sorry, j plus 2. J plus 2, not I, yeah? J plus 2. J plus 2. Alright. Next, which one is left? Next is the middle one. I plus 1, j plus 1. So I give array dot get I plus 1 dot get j plus 1. Right? This is I'm writing two gets. I hope you understand, because this will get the a of 0, and the next get of this one it's like this one. So it will give the element. I hope you understand this one. Okay. So I've written the middle one, right? Next, these three are left. Okay, let's do it. So array of get, what is this? I plus 2 and j. I plus 2 dot get j plus. Okay, I've done this. Next, this one I plus 2 j plus 1. So array dot get I plus 2 dot get j plus 1, j plus 1, and the last one, last element, this is I plus 2 and j plus 2, right? Okay. Okay, array, I'll just write it below. Array dot get I plus 2 dot get j plus 2. Okay. So I've written everything, right? Yeah. So there is how many elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 elements should be there. So we obviously, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 5, 6, and 7. Yeah, so basically, I have to do it exactly how you have visualized it, and the loop will take care of going through all the elements, right? So it will increment, it will increment the column first, then row, then it's it's gonna give it. Now this is the sum, but now I have to compare this with the maximum. Which one is maximum. I have to find out which one is the maximum. So I'm going to do is make a variable that will be outside the loop. Okay, so int max, and we'll assign the integer maximum, max variable, with the lowest possible value. Okay, so that when we compare it, so it will be the first comparison will always be the sum. Okay, not the sum will be the maximum, not the maximum. So it will be integer dot min value, right? So it will be something minus something. It will be very long value, but it will be the lowest value of integer. So when it will now when you do this loop, okay, when you do this sum, uh, you reassign the max value. Okay, max equals to max dot max. This is a math function. Math dot max. Math dot max. So sum, it will compare the sum and the max value. This function will compare the sum and the max value. So it will be obviously the minimum value and the first value. It will be obviously the sum. Then by going through the loop, it will reassign, 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 and at last the maximum value will be stored here. And after that, all we have to do is have to return, right? Okay. So yeah, I have to return the integer value. I have to return the maximum value. So I'll just return max. Okay, I think that's it. Let's check. Okay, it passed all the cases. Let's submit the code. Okay, it's done, right? So everything is compiled. Yeah, sure. So everything's compiled. So that's it. I think, I hope I explained it properly. It is an easy sum. It is an easy question. This is the first question, that's why it's easy. So we'll go through all the other questions in the Hackerrank interview preparation kit. So I've done the first area video. After that, I'll do one by one. Like hash maps, grid algorithms, string manipulations, sorting, searching. Dynamic programming, all this. All right. I hope you understand this. And if you have any questions, leave down in the comment. Like, subscribe. I'll do more. Okay. See you next time. Thank you.